Hello, I'm Dave Prislow with Pyramid Solutions. Today I'm going to demonstrate the IBM Datacap Taskmaster product. We've developed a solution I'm going to show you for insurance industry and to do with claims processing. I'll show you a basic capture workflow here in this screen. On the left are various input sources that you could set up. Scan, where you'd have a scanner physically attached to your workstation. You could have fax coming in automatically processed, emails, file import, where documents are placed in a directory and they're automatically imported into the system. After the images are acquired, we set up a scan validation task where users will view the images individually and they can view them for quality, and they can delete documents that aren't up to standards. They can add separator sheets, which is usually the case if it's faxed or emailed. There won't be separator sheets, or if separator sheets aren't added through the scan process. This is where they can add all those. The next step in the process is the rule runner task, where images are OCR'd, in our case full page OCR, fingerprinting, where documents are identified. Is it a new loss document? Is it a traffic report? Is it a claim document? Various documents are applied, and once they are identified, then we set up fields that are then scraped and metadata is obtained for the document. So that's all in the fingerprinting process. This all happens in the rule runner task behind the scenes. After that information is acquired, the documents are then displayed to the user in the verify and indexing step. And after users index the documents, they are exported to FileNet. You can export from Datacap Taskmaster to any back-end system you like, but in our case, we will be exporting to FileNet. So, let's get to the demo, huh? Taskmaster.scan is how you'd start the scan application. Users will log in. They will choose a shortcut of vScan, which is virtual scan. Since I don't have a scanner attached, I will be importing the documents from the hard drive. You'll select this to OK to create a batch. Set up some fields that scan operators must enter. Receive date, I think, is important for the batch, and we give them the option to create a high priority batch where the batch will go through the system and the priority will be increased, so it'll go through sooner than other batches. These are various options that we can set up, configure if you'd like. Sometimes this isn't set up, you don't have to have this, but we've set this up just to show you how this can be done. So here's the screen where the documents will be imported. We'll select the documents here from the hard drive and we'll say scan. At this point, if you were using a scanner, you get a very similar screen. You load the documents in the scanner, in the hopper, press scan, just like that, and images will come in. If you like, you can look at the different images. You can see we've already taken time to put separator sheets, patch code 2 sheets in between all the documents. You can move documents up, you can move them down, you can reorder, you can insert another document before or after, you can remove documents, but in this case the batch is done, complete, so we'll press done. If you'd like to scan another batch, you press OK, but we'll just press cancel and close out. Okay, so now the documents are ready for the scan validation task. They also enter it from the .scan. Users will log in, but this time they'll choose scan validation. Here the various batches ready for scan validation display. You can see the task. They're all going to be scan validation, ID, the status. You can see the date, the number of docs. In this case, documents have not been created, so you just have the number of pages in the doc. So we will go ahead and select one. And here's the scan validation screen. Users to see the different images in a 9x9, they can click through them like this. They have options if they'd like to change the document type here to either separator or other, or they can delete it. So you can see that we've gone through and we've already identified the separator sheets and marked them as such, and we can change that color to whatever you'd like. If this is a fax or email, or maybe the separator sheet wasn't recognized or usually forgotten to put in between these two docs, they can select it and they go up here and press this button, add before, and this will add a separator sheet before or after that image. When they're complete, let me go back here and show you that the users would go through the batch using the arrow keys like that to view the docs and make sure everything, all images are good in the document, in the batch. When they're done, they press the save and exit, and they're done. They now can select another batch if they'd like, or they can exit out. Now documents. The batch is processing the documents behind the scenes in the rule runner task, and then they'll be ready for verify. So we'll go into verify by double clicking .edit, log in, choose verify shortcut, and you get the same batch selection screen, and there's just one. We'll double click to start the verification screen. Let me make it look a little nicer here. You can see on the left the image displays. The middle is the fields that the indexer will enter for the document, and on the right is the batch view. You can see we have 5 documents. The first document is 1 page we're on. The rule runner and OCR was able to fingerprint and OCR the document and identify the document type as a lost notice. You can see it also filled in the various fields with OCR text. Insured name, it was competent with that, but you can see it stopped on the policy number field because it's not competent in this field. It did not pass validation rules. You can see down the bottom, the policy number field contains 11 characters. The maximum number of characters allowed is 10. I set this up so I wasn't trimming. Usually we trim this field, but we will remove the space, and now there's 10 characters. Pressing the F6 button will run all the validation rules on the fields for this document, and if it passes, which it did, it goes to the next document, which has also been identified as a lost notice. You can see in the right, if you'd like to see the second page of the document, you just click there. It's also stopped on the policy number. I'd like to show you now what's called click and key. If the policy number was not obtained, the user can go to it, click on it, and it will grab all the characters between the spaces. So here, if it's this field, you can see it goes there. If you'd like both words, you just select them and both go in. But in our case, it's policy number, and there we are. F6, move us to the next document. Now, as you saw earlier, documents that failed validation rules are in red. Fields that fail competence levels are in yellow. You can see the B, it was not competent of that letter, and it highlights it in red, and also in the image text you can see is what it's showing, the actual image text, and it's also highlighting it. Probably thought it was an 8. At this point, it's good, so we'll press F6. Validation failed. Policy number field is not correct. We know that. F6. Validation failed. Data loss. You can see it's not a valid date. So we'll correct that. Now, you can see we're on the third document. There's a fourth and a fifth document. When I press from this field, I press F6. It'll validate the rules, all the fields on this document. If they all pass, it will go to the next document, validate those rules, and it will stop on any fields that do not pass. If all pass, it will move past that document, which you'll see, and go to the fifth document. F6, it skipped the fourth document. That is because it recognized it as a police report. You can see we have it set up in fingerprinting system. It recognizes a document, a first page like this, it's a police report. It's obtained the claim number here, and it's validated the claim number to this format, and that passed. Insured name, data loss. Policy number was not a required field, so it did not stop at that field and moved on to the next document. So, okay, so we go to the last document. You can see Lee's Collision Center. We'll select the document type from the list. This is an auto estimate. Claim number. We'll put in the claim number. Now, buttons can be added anywhere you'd like, can be configured to go against a web service or a database to do lookups. In this case, we've set up the system. User types in the claim number. They press the button, it goes against a database and returns any fields if it's in there. Insured name, policy number, data loss, claimant 1 were all filled in. So at this point, F6. All documents are complete. They're all validated, passed all the rules, and they're complete. So we'll finish the batch, and the user can now select the next batch. But we'll be complete here. And you can see we followed through the scan validation, rule runner backend processing, verify indexing, and then the documents are exported to Fonet. Thanks for your time today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask anyone at the booth any questions, and we can follow up. Have a great day.